Active stretch for the shoulders. Let's begin with a gentle warm-up. You want to keep your midsection tight, hinge forward about halfway, and then allow the arms to remain relaxed here. We're going to begin gentle circumduction of the shoulders. You can imagine that your arms are hanging loose like freshly boiled noodles. Keep the midsection engaged so the body is tight. Gradually the circles get larger. And this is not an active stretch, but just a warm-up. We're just trying to increase the circulation through the area. And then the shoulders circle a little bit smaller. And then let's reverse those circles. You can really feel how the arms hang freely from the body here. Nice long arms, nice relaxed body. The shoulders circle a little bit smaller. And then we'll stand. The first active stretch will address the chest muscles. If you imagine the pectoralis as a fan, it has three distinctive parts, and we want to move the arms at three heights in order to attract all of the tissues into this stretch. If you find that your stance gets a little bit stiff, you can always step one foot in front of the other. So a little stagger stance can sometimes help to offload the pressure of the spine into the glutes and the legs. Let's begin here. We're going to inhale. We want to get tight through the midsection. On the exhale, we're going to go high. Imagine squeezing the shoulder blades together to bring the arms back, and then inhale to neutral. With the exhale, we're going to go just a little bit lower, so you just go slightly down, and inhale to neutral. In the exhale, we take the arms back, squeeze the shoulders together, and release. Inhaling. On the exhale, we're a little bit higher than the shoulders, so we squeeze back. At the end range is where we hold 2 seconds and release. On the exhale, we want to squeeze the shoulder blades back so you can really feel the contraction of the rhomboids, and then release. Inhaling and exhale. So the idea is that the action is in the contraction. We're building strength in the back muscles as we build stretch in the chest. Going a little bit lower than the shoulders now. Inhale, we're just letting the arms release to center, and then in the exhale, we're going to pull back. I always think of this as like you're giving a big hug. So you're really opening up, big hug for grandma, and then release. Let's do one more. As you exhale, you'll squeeze back. You can really feel those muscles that are contracting. They're starting to burn. And then release. Just stay loose in between. The second stretch will address the anterior deltoid and into the bicep. I'll show you this from the side position. Begin with a little bend in the elbow. As you exhale, think about pulling the arms back into extension, and then straightening the elbow, and you're going to continue moving the arms back, back, back. Inhale, release to neutral. As you exhale, start pulling the arms back. Continue traveling through the extension. Imagine chopping the hands toward the ceiling, and release. Inhaling and exhale. So we're not using momentum here, we're using control. And release. So there's a little swing as you release, but then as you move through the stretch, you have good control. Extend, extend, keep working, keep contracting, and then release. Keep the head neutral here. Normal range of motion is 90 degrees. That's about shoulder height. You're going to notice that many of your students will struggle with this one. 2 more. As you exhale, pull back all the way through and release to neutral. The last, we're going to pull through, chop the arms, and release. Our third stretch is going to really focus on strengthening the teres minor muscle. This is not such a minor muscle. It's a very important component of the rotator cuff. and will help to address the tightness along the front of the shoulder, the anterior deltoid, and then the pectoralis minor. I'll show you this from the back side. What I want to do is begin with the hands together. I inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to swim my arms back. And then I'm going to work in a little window of movement. The elbows stay completely straight, and I imagine that I'm pumping the thumbs toward the midline. You're going to feel the engagement through the latissimus and the teres minor. Keeping the head neutral, keeping the midsection engaged, keep the elbow straight, and you're pumping from the roots of the shoulders. And relax. Next, we'll do the classic swimmer stretch. This will be a familiar stretch for you. I think the difference is going to be the short duration. I'm going to inhale. On the exhale, I move the right arm across the body, keeping the shoulder depressed. I assist with the opposite side arm, and then I simply release. As I exhale, I'm going to move the arm across. Gentle assist and release. You're going to feel that your chest muscles are contracting, and that's going to provide stretch to the outer arm. Through the outer arm all the way into the shoulder blade. Think about keeping the arm lower than shoulder height. As you repeat, you can also move the arm lower across the body. Inhaling, exhale, stretch for the 2 seconds, and release. The left side. Always feel free to reset your glute engagement, your abs engagement. Inhale. On the exhale, you move the left arm across. Gently assist and release. Remember that we're focusing on the contraction of the muscles and then a gentle assist toward the in range. Just a little bit of assistance to help yourself to move a little bit deeper and then release. You might find that you need multiple sets of each of these stretches. So if you feel that you're particularly tight in one area, definitely go back and do repeated sets on those stretches. Notice that I'm turning my arm. I'm using different angles, trying to work into new and novel ways of stretching into these tissues. We're going to continue stretching into the outer arm, working on the shoulder blade and trapezius muscles. For this one, the elbow is going to be bent, and then you move the arm across the body. You can imagine that you're walking the fingertips back, and then give a gentle assist, like you're giving yourself a hug. Inhale, neutral, and then in the exhale, you start to move the arm back. I always imagine that I'm reaching for my seatbelt in this one. So I guess this is the driver's side seatbelt that I'm reaching for. I'm careful not to let my shoulder elevate here. So the shoulder stays depressed. That way, when I'm moving through the range, I'm able to accurately work into the tissues that I'm targeting. Inhaling and exhale. The left side. As you exhale, the arm is bended, fingers walk back, and then give yourself a gentle assist. Inhale at neutral, exhale into the stretch. Slightly changing the angle through each repetition. You're going to feel the contraction through the front side in order to stretch the back side. Do one more here. And finish. We're into the rotator cuff. These deep muscles of the shoulder are really crucial for stability and full range of motion in the shoulder, although they are often overlooked. For the rotator cuff, we're going to move the arms out just a little lower than shoulder level, and then bend the arms 90 degrees. I'm just making a soft fist here, keeping the midsection engaged, the glutes tight. Inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to rotate the arms back. So I bring the arms back 90 degrees, it looks like a cactus, and then inhale to neutral. Exhale. I'm feeling the engagement through the shoulder blade, the deep shoulder muscles. Inhale to neutral. I'm stretching the armpit muscle. I'm stretching my chest muscle. Inhale at neutral. Exhale, and I want to try to bring the hands back toward the wall behind me. Inhale, neutral, and exhale. So you should be feeling this engagement in the shoulder blade. Inhale, neutral, and exhale. Moving to the internal shoulder rotation. This one is usually challenging for people. What is ironic is that many of us have shoulders that are rolled forward, yet we're still limited in our internal rotation. So it's a little bit of a paradoxical situation, but this internal rotation stretch can really help to correct that. Starting with the arms out just a little lower than shoulder height. Bend the elbows 90 degrees. And I'm just making a soft fist here. I find that it helps me to create a little bit more movement. As you inhale, you get tight through the midsection. In the exhale, you begin to rotate the arms down. Now, you be careful not to move the shoulders or the elbows here. Inhale, release to neutral. In the exhale, you begin to rotate. So it's the upper arm that we're rotating, the humerus bone. Inhale to neutral. As you exhale, you're going to feel your chest and your armpit muscle contracting. That's what does the rotation. Inhale to neutral. Exhale. You're stretching the external rotator muscles. Those are the deep shoulder blade muscles. Inhale, neutral, and exhale. You'll start to feel a little bit fatigued as you repeat these. Great. Let's do one more here. Inhale, your neutral position. In the exhale, you're going to rotate the arms all the way through and back to neutral. Finally, we've arrived at the overhead arm position. We're going to do one side at a time. I'll use my left hand here to keep my rib cage pulled in. And then inhale, I'm going to stay in a thumbs up position. Exhale, I'm going to move the right arm forward and then up, 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 and behind the head. I want to think about staying close to the ear and then release down. The reason that I keep the ribs pulled in is because the tendency is to arch the back whenever my arm is moving up overhead. The body is always trying to find the final position, even if it has to compensate or compromise alignment. So sometimes we have to really correct our position in order to move through the best versions of the stretch. Once you feel confident in this, you can self-assist. You're going to move the arm back behind the head, just giving a gentle assist at the end range, and then release to neutral. As you exhale, you move the arm, keep the abs engaged, don't let the ribs lift, and then slowly through the range and release to neutral. Let's do one last rep. Practicing the left side. So I'm going to anchor my rib cage in. I've got my abs engaged, glutes engaged. Inhale. Exhale, I take the thumb up and back, slowly moving through, and release to neutral. Exhale. Inhale. Notice that even though I let my arms swing freely, I then control the movement through the stretch. So there's never momentum in the stretch position. It's really controlled all the way through. One last rep here. And rest. We have one more overhead position. Inhale. This time you have the palm facing forward. The thumb is out. On the exhale, you're going to take the arm up to the side, and then think about moving behind the head. You can bend the elbow at the end. Inhale to neutral. Then in the exhale, we're going to move the arm up and through the scaption, and then you can feel how this is really stretching the latissimus, the deep cobra hood muscle on the back. Inhale to neutral. As you exhale, it's okay to add a very slight side bend. because the muscle attaches down to the hip. So just a little bit of a side bend's okay. You can assist at the elbow as you continue through the stretch and release, inhaling and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One last rep. Inhale here, ribs stay pulled in, glutes engaged, and exhale to stretch. The left side. Inhale first to prepare. In the exhale, you move the arm up, elbow bends at the end range, and release. Inhale, exhale. And the last. Great job. So we've stretched the entire area around the shoulders, the chest, and the upper back. Your arms should be feeling very loose at this point.